Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
My name is Cameron Galloway. This is my brother Sage Walker. We are Black God.
Black God.
This is Black God the Pod, episode 4. 4 is a magical number. We're gonna let this rock for a minute before I go into that. Because I feel like we should do the mathematics on
Stage the
Yeah.
black. Black Lotus back focusing, you know it's true, right? Hip hop is the opus, and what the focus prove? It takes time to develop rhymes, gotta envelop your mind, and the beats you hear gotta tingle your spine. They never show you love till you dead and gone. I speak the truth in this booth on every song.
On every
Things
song.
said, things
Hey,
said,
shout out my
highlights
big
to
brother
them.
Charlie,
Fixated
man.
on pixelated derivatives of the lyric.
Word up.
Tell
That was
the
one of the
words,
most
flying
important
higher than
conversations
birds.
I ever had in my
Flying
life,
like
my
the birds as I'm
nigga.
cruising through the curves.
Real talk.
Turning just like a wheel, a sphere.
I love it.
Thelonious,
We
I
did,
feel
man.
like a monk sometimes.
Bro,
The top Thelonious,
beautiful
and
thing.
they never ever
Yeah,
took the
man.
crown. They tried to climb. Yet
You
I
my big
remain
brother
10
Charlie,
toes
and he my
down.
big brother Charlie.
Vagabond, I'm
This was
Gaddafi
crazy,
with the
right?
sounds. Miyamoto Musashi,
It's
a
crazy
legend
how
with
the
the verbs
energy
and
works,
nouns.
man. It just does it, man.
Damn. All right, bet. And we here now. Black God the Pod, episode 4. 4 according to Father Allah. Clarence 13 next nation, gods and earths is culture and freedom. 4 according to alchemy is foundation.
But you also need 2 twos to get 4.
Exactly. Or 4 ones.
Right.
So 4 pieces of
Or
knowledge
a 3 and a 1.
freedom. Yeah. Yeah. There's many ways to get to it. That's
The maps.
right. It's both logical and creative.
Clarence,
So
he created the divine mathematics and the divine alphabet.
no, he didn't.
Oh.
Comes from Nation of Islam.
Oh, okay, so he recapitulated it.
Yeah. So the official story is he left the nation because he wanted to do nigga shit, like, you know. What? We're not supposed to use profanity in the first 8 minutes in order to all right. So he left the Nation of Islam because he wanted to smoke and drink and gamble and fornicate and just do worldly things and be in his carnal nature. But he also left because he wanted to teach the youth who weren't gonna shave their face, cut their hair, and wear suits every day this information. That's the official story. The story I've been hearing lately is that Elijah sent him out to do that specifically,
Right.
which makes sense to me, judging off of how the relationship of Nation of Islam and Nation of Gods and Earths is. It's the same information. It's just a different application of the information. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, nah, he didn't come up with it though.
But see, it's not, and I like that you said that because it's nothing new under the sun. I've been saying this for a couple days now. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing new. So whatever, like, not just the divine mathematics, but just understanding, right?
Mhm.
The wisdom and the knowledge come together to make the understanding 1 + 2 = 3. But this is basic knowledge
Right.
that we've had from antiquity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that we had to add verbiage to it to, so it'll go out there and do what it need to do, which it's
Right.
doing. It seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
For those that, well, I don't want to call it. Anyways, yeah, for those that know. But
So yes, it's definitely this information and this understanding of the information has existed far longer than we have records of it, right? But it also was taken into secret places for various reasons. Some nefarious, some altruistic, I guess, Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a perspective. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Right.
But I do know that this information made it out from a lot of different people. Your McGregor Mathers is your Pascal Beverly Randolph's, your Albert Pike, the racist sack of shit, your Manly P. Halls, Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, WD Farad. Like, the information comes out of these spaces through these people and various other people. What's dude's name? Aleister Crowley. Yeah. If you want to get into that story, we can a little bit later. Or maybe that's the segue.
More on that later. More on the Illuminati's attempts to recruit us later.
Yeah. And we ain't talking about Nigerian scammers either.
You am not I. That's how I look at it, because I ain't with that shit. But they keep trying.
That's a very ill way to look at that. I like that. I like that a lot.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, man, everything is available to you. You could become a water skier, a surfboarder.
Yeah.
Or you can get hit with a, all right.
Yeah.
You could,
bro, if you really want to, you can become an astronaut out here.
Yeah, or you could do that, which is, well, I mean, they got slides and shit. I mean, look, man, everything is up for perspective, man.
Right.
I don't know what's happening outside of my realm of perception. But what I do know is that I could build a telescope myself and look at all the spheres out there. Now, I'm not saying those are they whatever those things are, I don't know. I'm not saying they are this or that. But it seems like they're there. And it seems like we're there. And they're here. If you get my drift.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I'm on the fence about it. My whole philosophy is I don't believe anything I can't prove, but I don't disbelieve anything I can't disprove.
But you know that they're massive liars, right?
Well, yeah. That's the thing I always get at. Like, these people lie constantly, so I take it with a grain of salt. However, some things make sense and some things don't, and it goes on either way. Could this thing be flat? Potentially. Could it be a sphere or a spheroid? Potentially. Could it be pear-shaped, like Neil deGrasse Tyson said? Potentially.
That's probably the closest.
Bro,
it's not a perfect sphere.
When you study the Platonic solids and you look at the Greek, the Greek and the Phoenician and the Dorian scholars, they talk about it being different phases of the world, and they use Platonic solids to actually describe that, right? Like the isohedron, dodecahedron, etc., right?
It's a giant crystal.
Right. And depending on what density you're on, depends on how you perceive it. This shit ain't.
This is what it looks like.
Potentially. This shit ain't.
It's jagged.
It ain't cookie cutter. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't that. Unless you want it to be and you make it that way.
Well, this is my thing, though. And this is the only argument that I present in that arena. And that is, I understand that objects in the third dimension tend to take third dimensional shapes. They just prefer that. Now, do objects have fourth dimensional and fifth dimensional properties? Yes, because I move through time and I move in a given direction through time. So, yes, I'm also a fourth and fifth dimensional being as well. But the reality of it is that objects, when we're talking about objective reality, like my head ain't flat. That bitch took a three-dimensional shape. It just decided to do that. And I think that most objects do.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to that flat Earth, round Earth thing, you tend to go to that argument, and I don't think that's the argument they're even making. They're not saying it's a piece of paper.
No, they're saying it's an infinite plane,
Some
and that the
people,
North
Arturo
Pole is.
Valentine says that, and
Yeah,
again, I don't have the apparatus to test it, so
but we know it's not infinite because we dug into it.
haven't dug out the other side though.
We dug enough, deep enough.
Haven't dug out the other side though. That's you see what I'm saying?
But it has to have depth, right? So if you're in the third dimension,
Right, but that's the point I'm making. Like nobody's saying it doesn't have depth. They're saying
but
it
then it
ain't.
has to have a third dimensional shape if it has length, width, and depth.
What if it's a large rectangular prism?
It's not flat then.
I mean, it is. It's flat on what?
A basketball
Four.
is flat on its surface. I mean, I can
No,
make that argument about anything.
but a rectangular prism, like a book, is flat on six sides.
Well, it has flat. It has flatness as a property.
Yes, and I think that's the point they're making.
I think that's not. I don't think that's far fetched. I just think it's far fetched to assume that. Like, all right, we know that they lie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they lie about the flight patterns, right? So the flight patterns are ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Anybody that studies it, you can study a basic history of the planet Earth, and you'll know that the flight patterns don't make sense. It just doesn't. If you are, thinking with this mind.
Right.
So what I think is something much more sinister than a flat dome covered. I think it's much more. I think it's like, all right. So imagine this is the shit that Thanos was trying to prevent. Like imagine a group of beings, right?
You're talking about MCU Thanos, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So imagine a group of beings that are so greedy and hungry that they absorb and consume entire solar systems on a whim.
Mm-hmm.
They wake up in the morning and that's just, that's breakfast.
That's their shit, yeah.
Right. So what Thanos was trying to prevent, because he saw it happen to Titan.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody understood that. They didn't cover this in the MCU for some reason. I don't know why. But his planet got eaten by one of those, what is it? Which movie was it? The Celestial. Yeah.
Bro, hold up. Let me interject real quick.
Yeah.
Because I forgot to mention one person in this whole secret society brought to the public thing. Malachi fucking York.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, you seen Eternals, right? Because that's where you're getting at.
Yeah.
Eternals is the Enuma Elish, right? But the first person to bring it to our people was Malachi York and his holy tablets. And bro, I'm thankful that we live in a space where motherfucking Marvel just put this shit out there. And it was a trash movie. Trash movie. But it was amazing because they actually put that shit on film. It was like, yeah, this is what happened in this universe. You know this universe is based on our universe, right?
That's what I want people to understand. It's just like and that raises a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
That is the story of African Americans.
American Negroes, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm not a foundational Black American. I just found out that existed. I'm sorry. I don't even want to go in that direction.
Yeah.
I'm just Black. I found out today that I'm like Irish too. And that's weird as hell.
Yo, the more I dig in my ancestry and history in general, the more I realize that well, first of all, you need to do your own ancestry. Because like telling somebody who the fuck they are is really some rude shit. But we are a lot less African than they told us we were.
No, we're mostly white and other shit.
European and American Indian.
Yeah. But it's a lot of
know,
my cousin Harold just got his shit back, right? And
mm-hmm.
his shit
You talking
is
about DNA?
yeah. And
Okay.
his shit is he's almost damn near 25% British. He got 4% Scottish and
Mm-hmm.
20% from literally the mainland. And
Shit.
I'm looking at my genealogy now, and the
Mm-hmm.
Neely family, that's my fucking family.
That's an Irish or Scottish name, right?
That's an Irish name.
Yeah.
I like
Also,
the Neely family is my fucking family, bro. Like they my family. If I was to go prick my finger and go get a Neely and prick their finger, we'll be related. Look.
yeah. I mean, you
And they'll
see my
feed me
last,
beer all night, and I love beer. It's probably that's the Irish part. That's why I love fucking beer.
bro. You see my last name. Scottish is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But what I all right. Shout out to the homie Cormeo How.
Also, I want to let people know before we continue that I wasn't saying that I'm white.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't try to go on the internet and say that Sage think he a white man. No, I don't. I want to figure out how to wash the Irish out of my blood somehow. If I could do
Bro,
that, it would be great. But
you make enough
anyways,
money to be
let's
white.
get back to it.
You make enough money to be white. It's just a status, boss.
Yeah.
Like that's the shit they don't tell you. It's a skin color too, but it's a status.
Well, it's all about status, man. It's always been that.
Yeah, but
That's what debaters tell us.
Yeah, but that's what they don't tell us in public school with the bullshit education system. Well, not even, yes, with the education system they gave us. But what I was gonna say, Cormeo. Oh yeah. So bro was pulling up mad documents from like the Revolutionary War and the transportation records from like the Virginia Company and all that, right?
Right.
And of course, everybody has an agenda. So people cherry pick information to present, right? We all do it, whatever. However, this motherfucker was pulling out pages upon pages of official records showing dark-skinned people being of European origin in the 1600s. And a lot of those ships that came over from Europe were packed with migrating Sephardic Jews who had just been Christianized, escaping the Catholics and the Inquisition in the 1600s, in the 1500s. Or they were Moriscos, which were Moors who, again, converted to Christianity, right? So I'm seeing this shit and I'm like, okay, he literally read off 100 people on this roll, all of them coming from Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. Green eyes, swarthy. Black eyes, swarthy.
That's why my eyes turn fucking gray. It makes perfect sense.
Swarthy. You see what I'm saying? And these are his primary sources.
I'm like, damn near Swarthy back then.
I wouldn't call you swarthy.
Back then, though.
Not even. Bro, you gotta look at some of these paintings and depictions. Swarthy is like Wesley Snipes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Marcus Garvey, Swarthy.
Yeah.
Peace to the gods. You know what I mean? You'll probably be more I guess not quite ruddy, darker than ruddy. I'll probably be like tawny or ruddy.
Yeah.
Depending on what the day it is, how much sun I got.
But you lighter than me though. You like 2 shades lighter than me.
Yeah.
You and CC. That y'all look just alike.
No, we don't look just alike. But that's what happens when you rock with somebody, bro. Especially when you swapping DNA.
I love y'all, man.
Love you too, bro. But yeah, bro. Crazy times.
Hey man, we moving into another. This is the thing, man. People got to pay attention to what's happening celestially, right? So I don't pay any attention to the flat Earth, round Earth debate because I know what's going on and I know we live in a great will.
Can I? Yes. Can I interject one more time?
Yep.
If it was round, why you see the same constellations in the southern hemisphere?
Well, what I think is that
That's,
some of the scientists from antiquity might have been right about certain things, and some of them now might be right. I don't think that this thing is all the way motionary at all times. I think
mm,
it sometimes in some positions it could be stationary, especially. So let's just say, right, if
mm,
this thing is like, if it's, damn it, motherfucker. All right.
at the angle.
If it's moving right, like if it's
Uh-huh.
moving like this, but then
Uh-huh.
doing this,
Uh-huh. And then it's
certain
following that and then going like that, right?
certain parts of it are going at, it's like this at the North Pole. Like certain parts of it, you see the same kind of section all year.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense if it's wobbling and shit. It's not really moving steadily.
Right.
And sometimes it stops. And we know it stops because a couple weeks ago, the fucking center of the fucking earth stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Literally like,
Bro, the sun
and
is
then
gonna
hit the
rise in the west.
and turned the other direction. That just happened. Like
Bro, the sun is gonna rise in the west soon.
it is, yeah. The sun is gonna rise in the west soon. With this flip flop has happened before.
Yeah, a
The
few
ancients talked
times.
about it. They talk about a
Yeah.
time before the moon. They talk about a time
Mm-hmm.
when they used to be able to see Saturn, like where
Mm-hmm.
they could walk outside, like and see the Saturn like it was the moon.
No, where Saturn was the sun.
Right. That's what I mean. That's why if Saturn was close enough, it would look like a star.
Yeah, it was, bro. Apparently at that time, it was like forever twilight.
But that's what I'm saying. So the Earth has clearly been moving through. It's been moving through wherever this medium that we're in. It has switched positions multiple times. Is all I'm saying.
Right. While people have been up here, because there's records of it.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yes. With you 100%. I just
So I don't disagree that yes, it is kind of strange that they see the same constellations, but at the same time, we are in comparison to the planet Earth, we're by if you do our size comparison, it's less than a grain of sand on the beach. You know what I'm saying? So
mm-hmm.
and then the Earth is less than a damn grain of sand on the beach compared to the sun, which is less than a grain of sand on the beach compared to belt geese, which is less than a grain of sand on the beach compared to Sagittarius A,
Mm-hmm.
which is less than a grain of sand on the beach compared to the supermassive black hole at the center of Andromeda.
Mm-hmm. Keep going. It go. It
And
keep.
we
It
can, and we
keeps
can,
going.
and you know what I'm saying?
Infinitely.
We could extrapolate this
Infinitely.
however many different ways you want to go. We could go inward too.
Right.
Because
Right.
all a cell is really just a universe. A cell is a universe. And
Yeah.
it has its own supermassive black hole at the center. We call that the nucleus.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Same system. It
Mm-hmm.
is not different. It's in it's whole within and without.
What's law number one in Kabbalion? No, law number two. As above, so below.
As above, so below. I gotta go
As
back and read the
within, so without.
Kabbalion.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to do that. I gotta go back and read it again. You know, man. See, I read so much, but I wouldn't consider it bullshit, but it's like stuff that I'm mandated to read because of my profession and what I'm, obviously, yeah, etc.
Right.
We're not gonna put that in the pod, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So because of that, a lot of the other shit that I really need to focus on gets pushed to the back,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I gotta go back and I gotta dig into Deepak Chopra. See, people forgot we got living. I don't want to say I was almost gonna say the deity word, but we have living Jesus Christ on this planet right now that are disseminating the knowledge.
Bro, even in the Jesus story, he was like, what was the giant? Isn't it written in your law that ye are gods? Like,
Yeah.
bro.
And in Matthew 10, he said, it was written that he told the disciples to go out into the public and freely give as you were given and heal the sick and raise the dead. The disciples wasn't Jesus.
Nah. But he told them they could do the same shit he did.
He told them to go out there and heal the sick and raise
Yeah.
the dead. That's Matthew 10. Anybody can go look that up. That's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's and that. And
Yeah.
anyways,
No, I'm with you. Like that's
yeah.
my problem with most of these organizations that they know the masses of people aren't going to read it for themselves and they mislead them. That's really my issue. Like in your text, it says this. And instead of, preaching a sermon on that, which will really empower people, nah, I gotta get this bread though. I need this, you know what I mean? I need this Benz with 2 numbers and 3 letters. I need a CLK 63, baby. Mercedes Silver with the red leather. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I like nice things too. Toys are cool. But at the expense of what?
Also, shout out Isaiah Bigelow. He just messaged me back. That's my nephew. He got them hoop for Richmond. Y'all go check out his tape.
What
He
up,
just hit me
brother?
back. Yeah, man. I'm trying to shout out all my goddamn lost family that I'm finding because
Yeah.
man, Walter Plecker is a motherfucker.
He's Hitler to us. Fuck him.
It
Burn
ain't
him.
really our people's fault.
Bro, he's Hitler to us.
Walter Plecker is the problem. And everybody that comes out of that lineage, like Marjorie Taylor Greene and all them.
Mm-hmm. Shit, Andrew Jackson. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
And he on money. Fuck him. Spit upon him.
Yeah.
Like they did quite a fucking job on our people. For real. And yo, some shit I learned today? So what they were doing in the 1600s were sending in, like, they were on this side of the world. They were switching people around between North and South America and all the adjoining islands in Central America, right?
Right.
Switching around, using them in indentured servitile and labor situations.
Right.
We're also shipping Americans to Europe and to Africa and the adjoining islands off of those continents or that continent because they're all connected.
Right.
So they would do that and then they would ship them back. So they weren't allowed to be slaves by law in the States if they got them by land. But if they got them by boat.
Maritime law.
Right. Admiralty maritime law. Who gave us that again? Our Moorish cousins, the ones that stayed in the into Catholicism.
Oh yeah,
the Moriscos. Yeah, Christopher Columbus.
The Swarthies.
Yeah, it's some nasty business, man. And the real fuck shit is, we got a lot of that in us.
It's in there, man. I wish I could wash it out.
Yeah, but that's the thing to give us our live nature, though.
That and not only that,
part of it, and that and the Indian shit, because we got freedom in our blood.
Facial hair too is what comes from that too.
Yeah. Well, you know what I learned about that from this from the sister online, Tasha she from like VA and shit, right?
Right.
So she was saying that a lot of people's over here, especially in the South, since it was so humid, the men would just shave everything and pluck the hairs.
That became a genetic. That probably became a genetic memory.
Yeah.
Epigenetic resonance.
Yeah, well, that and it was the custom, like a rite of passage custom. You had to sit through having your hairs plucked, and then they would tattoo over that shit. So when they got over here, most of the men that have facial hair and body hair because niggas plucked that shit and tattooed over it. And
that's
again,
great.
she's going to primary resources. That's why I love this internet shit and people being educated in the art of research.
That's why I'm about to go into the genealogy shit deep though, bro.
Please, honestly, FamilySearch.org is free.
Yeah, I just don't care about all that. I'm thinking about that. I used to be one of the people that, well, I don't want them to make a clone army of my DNA genetics and shit.
Bro, don't do, all right, first, don't do the DNA.
Okay, you saying don't do the DNA.
Bro, do the actual research.
I've been doing that. I've been doing that for like 2 days now.
What you been using?
Ancestry.
Use familysearch.org.
All right, familysource.org. I'm gonna look into that.
And it's
Ancestry is good too, though.
Ancestry is very
good. It's really
bro.
good. That shit's good.
They're pulling a lot of their documents from familysearch.org, like 80% of them.
But Walter Plecker is a motherfucker, man, because let me get into this shit. So let me get into this shit real quick. Can I just go into it? All right.
Yeah, go, please.
Let me go into it.
If you miss something, I'll chime in. Go.
So this is what happened when I'm going into my ancestry, right? And I knew this was going to happen because of my ethnicity, but I just wanted to learn for myself. Okay. So this is what happened. Once you get to a certain point, there's erase marks. There's no data. You know why? Because of Walter Plecker. If you don't know who Walter Plecker is, you should go look him up. I'm not going to give you a history lesson on Walter Plecker. But this is the greatest disservice that has been done to a people in the history of the world. Point blank, period.
Yes.
Point blank, period. Point blank, period.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I could go real deep into it and explain why and all that and why I believe that and all that. But you could do it yourself. Once you look it up and see the erase marks.
Bro. Fuck that. He, not just him, but he was the most recent one with the biggest push. He sent these people. First of all, they wrote these laws that said if you didn't live on a reservation as an Indian, you're now colored or white, but really colored, because they wanted to do this this Francis Bacon white utopia thing over here, and they wanted to push us and disenfranchise us. So, but it really doesn't start with him. He just happened to come over here in the late 1800s, see what's going on, and streamline the situation.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was worse than Hitler, though.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I would say yes and no. He didn't push the button on people to be like physically unalived, right? And start a physical war to take over an entire subcontinent. But he did disenfranchise and erase an entire fucking ethnic group on paper. He did that. Millions of people.
Paper genocide.
Straight up. Straight up. Economic genocide.
Religious genocide.
Cultural genocide, bro. They was killing
the absolute worst type of hell, bro, is where we are right now.
Bro, they was literally killing niggas for walking.
Imagine being in a state of disarray about your state of disarray. So you're in a state of disarray for hundreds of years already.
Been invaded.
And then they throw that state of disarray into a state of disarray. And now we're trapped behind enemy lines. But, you know, it is what it is, man.
And given the status of wars of the state that don't actually get benefits. Because Native Americans are wars of the state, but at least they get their own land and they can enforce their own law.
But this is what my thesis is going to be about.
Nice.
And I'm going to risk getting kicked out of school probably over this. But my thesis is going to be the causal relationship between the United States and its duty to give reparations to those who have been wronged. All groups who have been wronged.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the groups who have been wronged have gotten reparations from the richest government who has ever existed on this planet. And there's a specific group who has not.
Yeah.
And we're going to get it. We're going to get it. We're going to get it.
Don't forget about the rednecks. They never got reparations either.
But see, this is the thing.
They got white supremacy, but they never got reparations. Just saying.
Slave owners did get reparations.
True. But all of those were not Caucasian or pale-skinned people.
I just wanted to make the point that slave owners did get reparations. That's all.
You're absolutely right. Yes, they did. And they got it very swiftly.
Quick.
Yeah.
No wait time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got all their money.
Been waiting for 200 years over here. Really longer than that. We've been waiting for 500. We've been dealing with these people in some sort of warfare for 500 years. At least one part of our.
And the other black people I found in my lineage were freedmen. They got the tag on it when you find them on Ancestry. It has a tag on it that's got like a black power fist, and it's like, oh yeah, this was a free. Yeah, this motherfucker wasn't no slave. And that's some shit that I've been telling people. I've been telling people that I don't know even if my family will qualify for reparations because we ain't never been slaves hardly. It's really not that many in there.
I haven't found it yet.
I found more fucking Irish people and fucking Congolese, them people. They wasn't slaves. They are now. And hey, shout out to Kyrie Irving. You know why? You know why I'm shouting out Kyrie Irving? Because Kyrie Irving went on national television and told people that those kids in the Congo don't have electricity, but they're picking coltan out of the rivers and shit so that we can do this podcast right now. And that is fucking wrong.
Yes, it is.
That is fucking wrong.
Yes, the fuck it is.
Even though I benefit sitting here right now, benefiting from it, I live at the seat of the empire. What am I to do? I have to move within my realm to make the change that I can make.
True.
And I believe that what is happening in the Congo, this is my blood that I'm talking about. I know that primarily my family comes from the Congolese region, genetically. It doesn't matter if we were either already here or if we came on slave ships or if we came on voyages earlier with the Mali Empire, which is that's where I've pinpointed it, probably around the 1200s, 1300s is when we really came here. So that's why it shows Congolese blood. So my blood is picking vibranium out of the fucking dirt.
Barehanded.
So that we can have these fucking smartphones.
And Teslas.
And all this fucking shit. That's my blood is doing that.
And nobody seems to give a fuck. It's fucked up, bro. For real.
They don't have electricity. They don't even have electricity.
That, bro. We live in a space right now where an individual should not go without the basic necessities for a sustainable life: clean water, electricity, heat, shelter, clothing, all of that. Nobody on this planet should go without that unless it's their personal choice.
They won't let them build up.
Bro, that's all it is. This is why I am a self-proclaimed conspiracy theorist. I don't care. Throw the tag on me. I'm not afraid of it. I entertain all of them, and I know how to research. I don't believe anything I can't prove, and I don't disbelieve anything I cannot disprove. Am I going to focus on it all the time? No, because I have responsibilities as a man. However, as a citizen of this global universal society, can't fucking ignore this shit, bro. Like, you're right. It's babies barehanded mining fucking vibranium out the goddamn rivers, caves and shit all over Central Africa. It's adrenochrome farms of goddamn sex slaves and shit. The shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But what do we do about it? Spread awareness, operate in a way that's anti that, of course.
You know what we got to do about it.
Of course, but that's not for this space. And I ain't looking at bro, I'm just looking in general because, yeah, Pluto and Aquarius, things change. You know, last time we were in this astrological placement with Pluto and Aquarius was the American Revolution. Just something to think about. Just something to think about.
Imagine.
What a time to be alive, baby.
Imagine being 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't eaten in 2 days. Somebody comes in wherever you sleeping at on the fucking floor in mud with a fucking rifle to get your ass up. It's time to work.
Mm-hmm.
They look just like you. Seconds older than you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get up, you got no energy, no food, no electricity, nothing. They had a bath. You got to go pick a stone out of weird places.
And it's killing
rivers, whatever, and it's killing you being out there.
Killing you. Don't.
The radiation from the stone is actually giving you cancer.
Yeah. And it's fast because it holds a hell of a charge.
With raw hands, picking it out of the dirt.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Literal hell. Literal hell. And it's by design, which is really fucked up. These beings, because I wouldn't call these motherfuckers people that do shit like this, that put people through this. This shit's gotta end, bro. It's gonna end. Time's up. Cat's out the bag. And also, these motherfuckers look like us that's doing this shit. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, that's the other weird part about it too.
All these people ain't pale people, bro.
The Black Boule.
Bro.
They've been running this shit for 7,000 years.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
According to the Sumerians, it's more like 200,000 years.
That's what I'm saying, man. And that's why I believe TJ, man. Man, dog. The motherfuckers on the backside of the moon, man.
Did you hear what the FBI put out within the last week?
Mm-hmm.
There's a mothership sending down smaller UFOs to fuck with us.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I was about to, that's what I was referencing at the beginning of the pod when I said, you know, they lie.
Yeah.
So they go into public and they say, well, you know, there could be a mothership sending probes. That's what we think of Moore. Moore might have been. I don't know. It could be. We don't know.
Right.
We don't really know. There could be a mothership. But when did the, oh, yeah, Google is a hell of a tool. You know why? When did the Ringmakers of Saturn come out?
I have no clue.
I'm about to tell you. And like this book is, you can't even buy this book. Like if you get 1986, if you get an original copy of this book, It costs like they're one for 1,000. You get an original mint copy, they 3,000. That book back in like 2009, that book was like 20 grand.
Whew, bro.
I remember. I never forget that. And I'm like, bro, people not paying attention to this.
I want to go back to Boston book shopping.
There's a book. I'm gonna give people this name author.
Bro, give the synopsis real quick, so people can be familiar.
Yep, I'm gonna give the synopsis. But I just want people to know who the name of the book and who the author is before I give the synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
So the book was written by Norman R. Bergman, who is he's like a astro engineer, physicist, all that. He studies like technology, like advanced technology that we create. Like he studies it. That's his job. That's his job. That's what he does. So the book, Ringmakers of Saturn, is a book that he wrote where he said that essentially what we're dealing with here is that there are massive crafts around Saturn. Massive crafts that are 26 miles long. He outlined all the thrusters and everything. You can go buy the book on Amazon. If you wanna get a paperback copy, you can get it for like $60. If you want the original OG copy, you gotta pop a couple bands for it. But and you can go look that up. I ain't making none of this up.
Don't you love how to do that?
But this is my only thing is like anybody can get a telescope and look at that shit, right? Mm-hmm. And this guy is telling you like this is what I observed. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it is this, but this looks like a thruster for like a 26-mile ship. I'm seeing it. I'm looking at it. I'm telling you what it is. These ships are here, bro. They here. Bro. They've been here. That book came out in 1986. Mm-hmm. And you know what happened in 1983? They just in December, was it? And where they put out all the information about astral projection and meditation and all that shit being 100,000% real. Mm-hmm. It's all correlating.
Bro. You seen you know about the Montauk experiment, right?
Remind me what that is.
All right, so Montauk comes after. Montauk is in 83. It's the second part of the Philadelphia experiment.
Okay.
You know what Philadelphia experiment is, right?
Right, yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, in the Philadelphia experiment, they allegedly, the government already put the information out. They sent some people through time. They sent them to 1983.
I was about to say 82, but yeah.
Yeah. The Montauk experiment is them trying to intercept the travelers and send somebody back. And Montauk, for people who don't know, is a part of Long Island, New York, if I'm not mistaken. It's over there by the Hamptons. It's sacred, indigenous land. There's pyramids out there.
Right.
Straight up. Ancient mound buildings, civilizations, pyramids.
Have you heard of the Yarvis Empire?
Sounds familiar. But please, tell the people, tell me, put me on.
Well, I'm not saying I believe this shit. But there's a huge but. Apparently, in 82, 83, we sent some people to like 2100. And they got like all kinds of information. Like they was at basically an exchange of motherfuckers who fuck with time. And they go in there and it's like, why are y'all fucking with time? God damn it. And they gotta fix it. And they put you back. And that's what happened. They sent them all back. It was like, all right, y'all walked around, y'all seen it. Okay, you saw it. You're the only one that's ever gonna see it in your lifetime, and anyone else in your time period's lifetime. So it doesn't matter. We're just gonna send you back, and that's what happened.
Okay.
But that's why I say time is not really time is a tether. So when people say that you can't move forward or backwards through time, I say, well, can I not go reverse in a car? Like if I'm in a car and I put my car in reverse and I go back, I'm going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do that same thing with time.
Bro,
It's the same principle.
you do it when you remember.
Right. Exactly. Well, not only that, but when you remember, you also fabricate.
Yes.
You fabricate memories.
Yes.
When you remember.
You're retelling.
There's also there's things that you erase.
Yes.
And replace.
Mm-hmm.
The memory is not viable at all.
No.
You cannot trust your memory.
Yes and no.
That's why they say write things down.
Very important.
It's important to write things down because you cannot trust your memory. Write it down. Whatever happened to you, whatever's going on, just write it down. And then you're going to be able to read it and go to that actual moment instead of whatever it is that you fabricated.
Right.
Because you fabricate a lot of shit.
But that gets into multiversal theory because your fabrication is just, according to.
But that's the fifth dimension.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we live in 5 dimensions. So even when I get in the car, I could go back. I could go forwards, or I could go to the left. I can go to the right. I can go back this way. And all of these have different outcomes. That's the 5th dimension. So, but we don't realize it, but there's split off points.
Mm-hmm.
So in one reality, a meteor could have struck and we're all dead right now.
Mm-hmm.
In a hellfire. But in this reality, we jumped into this one so that we don't experience that. That's what consciousness does.
Right.
That's what the ancients were trying to tell us.
But that's what decisions are.
That's what the story of Noah is, really.
Well, that
everything died. Everything. You said this. You said it. Everything died. Everything. Not a bird in the sky. Not a bird in the sky. Not a beast of the fucking ocean survived.
Uh-huh.
Nothing survived except Noah and the creatures on that boat.
Mm-hmm.
Everything died. Everything. That is some
metaphorical shit, right?
Right, exactly. Exactly. Well, that's what I'm getting at. We're all genetic clones.
That and there's also, and I know that's what you're getting at by saying we're all genetic clones. There's also hard evidence of a flood that flooded a lot of the land mass that was visible, say 12, 13-ish thousand years ago.
Yeah, Randall Carlson. Randall Carlson is one of the most important human beings that ever lived. Because Randall Carlson took a drone and went to the American plains, shot it up into the sky, and said, holy shit, these are ripple lines. Major flood. Not just major flood, world crippling flood that would have destroyed any civilization that was there at that time.
Yep.
Utterly and completely.
Mm-hmm.
Total decimation. Doesn't matter what kind of technology they had. Doesn't matter if they had computers and taxis and all that fucking shit. Doesn't fucking matter. No. Decimation.
Yeah.
Not a trace left. Mm-hmm. Those are the kind of, that's why in the plains, when you go through America, you're like, damn, why am I seeing all these hills and shit? We never had that perspective until we made drones.
Yep. Fucking
Once we made drones and we could see it, it's like, oh my goodness.
You know, they say it's the same way in West Africa. around Morocco, Mauritania, and shit. And
Major flood along the same ley line.
Yep.
It's all around that same ley line.
Yeah.
You see those same ripples all over the planet.
Huh?
All of those people died.
Yeah.
In that same day.
Yeah.
Only a few people survived on that day. It didn't take long. It wasn't no 40 days and 40 nights. That's metaphorical. It took 24 hours.
Yeah.
It took 24 hours.
It took a long time for the water.
And Randall Carson don't want to say it, so I'm going to say it. It was one 24-hour period. It was a single day of cataclysm. Single day.
That's what Solon said about Atlantis. In one day.
That's what the evidence shows. All the evidence shows that shit happened quick. One day is all it took.
You know that's what the Mayans say about the previous world. Got destroyed in one day, the Atlan.
This is the fourth world.
Yeah. Back to that number 4. BlackGod ThePod, episode 4. We doing this thing.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out my nephew. Shout out my brother. Shout out Pops. Shout out my mom and my whole family. And shout out to Charlie Hustle. Shout out to Cameron. That's Charlie Hustle is Cameron Galloway, Hustle to God. I'm Sage. Sage the Black, Sage Bigger Belly. My first rap name was Super Villain, but that's because I wanted to be like Doom. Rest in peace, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
So, but we're gonna do a lot more of this. We got information for you.
Yeah.
Tap in.
Yeah. We're doing this thing with a very loose format. Just letting it.
And we're gonna have y'all on too. We're gonna have y'all on. Come on and tell us what you got going on. Let us know what's up. Tell us your feelings.
All
right, people.
With us.
And enjoy some weed with us, please.
Yeah. Also, we didn't do one thing. Water break.
Oh yeah, water.
Water break. Yeah. This episode, just like every other episode, is sponsored by water.
You need to drink water, people.
Drink more water. Ladies, if you're dealing with a dude, you want to slide up in you, he don't drink water, stay away from him. Fellas, if you're dealing with a lady and she wants you to dig into her, she don't drink water, stay away from her. Other people of other genders.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, if that individual don't drink water, stay away from them. That means they ain't thinking straight. Their body's all fucked up. Drink water.
And on that note,
peace.
We love you. Please drink some water, man.
Yeah.
We love you, man. Drink some water.
Absolutely.
That's the best love we can give you.
Yeah.
If you don't drink water, you ain't real right.
Straight up.
I drink a lot of this too. I drink.
Show the label.
Water.
Water.
I got that to replace it. And I got another one too. And I got like 5 of these. But
yeah. And if you can't drink filtered water. Like, bro. Did you one more thing before we go? Did you hear about the report from might have been EPA, one of those federal agencies? They did a survey across the nation of the largest cities in each state, the quality and content of the water.
Oh, terrible.
Bro, is prescription drugs in the water? Is illicit drugs in the water? Is
fecal matter,
estrogen, radiation, lead. Get some water filters, people. For real.
Or buy filtrated water, purified.
Please.
They got cheap companies out here that purify the water. It's fine. Look, man, we live at the seat of the empire, man. It's no excuse for us not to be healthy.
Yeah. Also,
It's nuts.
fuck with Soul Society live order.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That
Fuck
shit.
with Soul Society. We gotta start fucking with Soul Society too.
Yeah, we about to rock
But
with them.
that's another conversation. But hell yeah, I've been rocking with them for a minute.
Yeah, we're gonna see y'all on Sunday.
Yep, no doubt.
We out here. Peace.
Much love.